Welcome to Scout's Sandwich Shop. We're going to build a Java object-oriented program. You can read the backstory. I always like backstories. We're going to create first a sandwich class. The sandwich class is going to do all the calculating. It's going to get input. It's going to do the calculating, and then it's going to return. In this case, we're just going to return a string that would look like this. You ordered a tuna sandwich, your price is $4.99. We are not going to include in this one, we're not going to include any input. We're going to hard code the values in the program because primarily we just want to work with making sure that we can create the separation between the interface, application, and the class. Well, let's get started. We're going to create two files. One file is going to be called sandwich.java, and the other file is going to be sandwichshop.java. All right, so the sandwich shop has created our class for me in my case. I'm not sure why. there it is. PSVM puts together. It automatically expands to the public static method. So this is where we'll create the main application. Let's go over to the class, which is primarily going to do, it's going to receive input, it's going to send output. Our only output we're going to use is going to be the string that displays all the fields. So we need a public class, and this is supposed to be sandwich because we do have to match sandwich. And we need class here, of course. There we go. And we need curly braces, and then everybody's happy. And I put in parentheses, and that's not right. There we go. Not for Java. All right. So the first thing we want to do is create our attributes. And the attributes are listed in the program. We're going to have the main ingredient, the bread type, and price. So I'm going to create the class is public, but we want all of our data stored privately. And the main ingredient is going to be a string, and I'm just going to call it main ingredient. And that's it. We do have to create our data attributes before we use them. In Java and almost every other language except Python. And double and price. Pretty easy peasy so far. We've got our private data attributes. We're going to use two constructors, which have to be public. They're special methods. They have to have the same name as the class. Since it is a method, it does need the curly. I'm sorry, not the curly braces, but it needs the parentheses. I should zoom in a little bit. There we go. It needs the curly braces. There we go. So do we need anything in our public sandwich? No. This is the default constructor that creates an object with those fields. Now the next one is to create a constructor, which again is a special method. And we're going to name it sandwich, but because it'll have a different signature, meaning the construction of it is going to be different, we're good. Oops, why can we have the same name? Isn't that going to be confusing? Nope, you're right. Because this string is stored inside of the constructor, which I probably should finish. This string is stored here, and the two do not mix. So we have string made ingredient. We need string bread. We can use the same names or we can use different names. That's up to you. And then double price, and then everybody should be happy. There. Now we have a constructor that as this information is brought in from our sandwich shop application, we're going to assign the incoming, so the incoming variable matches this, and then we're going to assign that to this dot main ingredient. This means that it belongs to this. It belongs to this class, this object. It's much like self. And we can, when we initialize it, if we wish, we could call this also this. Because I guess you can't do that because it's automatically part of this. All right. So then we would complete this little guy. This dot bread equals is assigned from bread. And this dot price. Whoopsie. This dot price equals price. So far, so good. We can create our object. Now this automatically sets all the information needed to do our display method. However, this guy, we have to set each of them separately. So we're going to do what are called getters and setters. Now Visual Studio Code has a little shortcut here. I think if we select those and right click, we can go to, is it refactor? Just a second here. You can type them in yourself. That'd be good practice. But I'm going to show you a little shortcut. I've selected these three, and I don't even know that I need to select them. I just usually do if I use this. So I'm going to right click and scroll down to where it says Source Action. And we have lots of things that we can do. We're going to generate getters and setters. And we're going to select all the fields that we're going to do that for. We click OK. Ta-da! There they are. It's a good idea to know what each of these mean. So typically the constructors are before these, so I think I was kind of in the wrong place. Let me go down to here. There we go. So they are public because we're going to access them from this program. So get main ingredient means that from here to there, we're going to retrieve the ingredient. Set means we're going to take the ingredient from here to here. Well, let's see what that looks like. So I'm going to create an object, a sandwich object, and I'm just going to call it SD. You can name it anything you want. And it's going to equal new sandwich. Now this one is not have a default. This one is the default constructor. So I have to set everything. So I'm going to copy some stuff from my solution that I wrote just to speed things up. There. So, I made it SD. So let's make it the same. I did sandwich. All right, there we go. So this is going to set the information in there. If I was going to do a constructor with all the information, I would pass all the information into here. So I would do tuna, because we're hard coding, just to make sure we know what we're doing. And then wheat. And then what's the other one? Price, $4.99. This does all of that at once. And so in this program, I want you to use each one and create two different sandwiches. Now we need to do our little toString guy, which we have done before in our tutorials. So it's at, where's my at sign? At override, which means we're going to override the system to string. And then we need that. We are going to return a string, so I need string in there to say what we're returning. And of course we're going to return, and I'm just going to do MSG for message. That's going to be the name of my string that I return. So I'm going to concatenate this together. Let's make a string. We'll call it MSG. Sounds good. Now we are going to concatenate things together. So I'm going to do MSG equals, and I'm going to just put in, what am I going to put in? Oh, sandwich. So far so good? Well, then I can concatenate THIS dot main ingredient. I need a semicolon to finish it. And then I can do MSG plus equals and add something onto it, like bread is, and then concatenate on the this dot bread. You get the idea. Once that's done, we can return this. So we've got our object. At this point, we set everything. We do system, oh boy, dot out dot println. And then we can just do our sandwich dot toString. And that will automatically print out this. Well, let's see if it works. Maybe we'll get lucky. Yeah, it worked, but for some reason my running Java on this is weird. I don't know why Visual Studio Code suddenly decided to do Java weird. Yeah, that's not exactly what it's supposed to look like. Okay, well, I'll have to figure that out. Maybe it's just mine. Maybe yours doesn't do that. I don't know. I'll have to research that. Regardless, you know how to finish out the program. Do you have to make a sandwich? No, you can make whatever you want. I just used a sandwich as an example.